Okay, let's see. This is an impromptu live stream for Christmas and for everyone. I just got done with my work and I wanted to say hi to everyone. Hello, Joseph Lopez. Hello, Yucksnav. Hello, Elite. Merry Christmas, everyone. I just wanted to do a live stream because it's Christmas. I finished my work at the hospital. I'm fully awake. I'm not allowed to be relieved from my duty until 7 in the morning, and then I have a 4-hour ride home if I'm awake to go see my wife. Happy holidays to you too, Elite. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Let me see if okay, great. I was going to type it in, but you just answered me. Thanks. Appreciate it, Elite and Yucksnav. Merry Christmas, everyone. I don't know how long I'll stay on. Depends on a lot of factors. Although my work for the day should be done, they can call me at any time because of an admission, an emergency, whatever. But as soon as I get home, I'm going to be tired and I'm going to want to spend some time with my wife. So I wanted to spend my time with all of you. Merry Christmas, Cassie Hall. So I wanted to spend my time with all of you for a little bit for Christmas and see how you all are doing. Merry Christmas, Annette. Ginger Raid, cute. Ginger Raid? As in Supreme Ginger Stacker? Cool. Why do you feel sad, Joseph? Merry Christmas, Daniel. Merry Christmas, Lisa. Merry Christmas, Stacking with Kraken. Merry Christmas, Just Stack It. Gary Huffman, Merry Christmas. Does Ginger know that I started a live stream? Or did he just finish one? I didn't even think to look. I just got in the hotel and decided to start up. Supreme Ginger Stacker, welcome. Merry Christmas. Kellen Elm, Merry Christmas. Supreme, I'm going to need you to send me an email. I'm going to ask you to pop online with me because you did the same thing for me for Christmas. Figured, it'd be kind of a cool thing. Merry Christmas, rural girl. Lisa Anderson, Annette Esman. I'm sad to Joseph, I haven't gotten any silver in a while. Hopefully Santa brings some. Yes, Cassie, he should bring you some. I'm going to click briefly over to my email. So just bear with me. Nope, that's not what I want. Is that what I want? Okay, that's what I want. Ginger, do me a favor, send me an email to thetigerstacker@gmail.com. Thank you, Tiger. Today's my birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa, and don't let anyone short sheet you. You get 2 holidays just like everybody else. Christmas and birthday. Merry Christmas, Kellen. Let me check to see if Ginger got me that email. Okay. Okay, let me refresh this then. And come on, Ginger. Not yet. Ginger, did you send it? Sent. Got it. Let's see. I don't know if I got it, but got the message. Okay. Got your email. Let's start the invite. Reply. And sending it back to you. Merry Christmas, Arnie. Let's see you hop up here, Ginger. Hey, Ginger, you there?
Hey.
Oh, I better turn down the sound. That scared the heck out of me.
Sorry.
That's okay. How about this? I'm gonna pull the external.
I can
Better for.
turn my mic down too.
I just turned off the speakers. I'm hoping wifey got me a better mic for YouTubing.
Yeah.
So I talked to Yankee and he sent me what he uses at Tim's. Now my life is pretty much on the road, going to this hospital, that hospital, and other places. So don't need a stationary big mic, not unless my life settles down. So I need something that's mobile. So I'm
Yeah.
just kind of hoping wifey got me the one that Yankee is using, and I hope it's not so high tech.
Yeah.
So I want to wish everyone Merry Christmas from Santa Tiger.
Santa Tiger.
So were you streaming and everybody just popped over?
Yeah. I got off of a 4-hour stream.
Oh my goodness, you're tired. You're tired, Ginger.
Yeah, I'm super bushed.
Yeah, my week has been pretty rough. I've been doing hospitalist at the hospital that I worked at. The one that let me go, but keeps calling me back. Imagine that. It's just one of those things. I'm hoping one day that I'm going to get something that's more stable, and then I can do. I am so mad at myself because my job gets in the way. I only have 88 videos, um, but
Yeah.
I got 3 in the back room that I'm editing. So, by the way, one of them is rigged 6. So it's still in its toddler stage.
Yeah.
So, and on top of that, my brother-in-law's been busy. Don't know what's going on. I've been too busy to talk to him. Could be the war over in Ukraine. Could
Yeah.
be any number of things. But I'm looking forward to some interesting stuff, everyone. He asked me if I could help him get a new computer. Turned out it was, he said, used computer. I got a little worried because when you get a used computer, you sometimes get someone else's problems. But what he really meant to say, it was a new computer, but last year's model that was still on the floor. So so
So he wasn't talking pawn shop computer. He was talking
no, he was
just
talking new computer, still in the box, never been used.
yeah.
And oh, thank you, Stacking with Kraken. Now, speaking about subbing, here's what really helps, because I've had to learn this one the hard way. If you hit the subscribe button and that's all you do, sooner or later, YouTube's going to take you off. They're going to
Mm.
think you're a bot and take you off. So if you
Mm-hmm.
could be so kind as to hit the bell notification as well as subscribe, hit the like button, make a comment, you lock yourself in and they see you as a new person instead of a bot.
Yep.
And do that for all the people you like, including Ginger. Oh, uh, Merry Christmas, Show Me Stacker. Merry Christmas, Mentally Corrupted. Mentally Corrupted. I've been trying to find that short that you did on pouring. I loved that thing, and I'm having a little trouble finding it. Did you
Yeah.
take it down?
But yeah, you remember when you went above 1,000 subs? I was in there too when Yankee was like, "Hey, everyone, sub to Tiger Stacker, Tooly Tooly, and Supreme Ginger Stacker." And after that, I went up to like 430 something subscribers, and then straight down within like 2 days, I went back down to like 420.
Yes. And for me, it's not really a big drop. It's usually like one or two a day.
Yeah.
And I went up to 1,013, and over the next number of days, uh, it went down to 999. And no one explained all this to me. So I kept thinking, what did I do? Did I make people mad? Or were
Right.
they just showing up for the silver? Or what
Yeah.
was the deal? And thank God for Nick's coins.
Mhm.
Plus Yankee, plus Frostbite, and a couple others.
Yeah.
I think Nick probably says it best. She calls it the YouTube purge.
Mhm.
If you just hit the subscribe button, they think you're a bot and they take you out. Maybe they might put you back in later, maybe not.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yaksnav, in that live stream that we were in, there was like over almost 700 people in that live stream. So, I mean, I was just lucky, to get more subs, but, I can't really force people to sub to anyone that they haven't watched yet. So, if they
yeah.
didn't want to, that's okay. I ain't big on it.
So and the thing is, you can ask, you can encourage. Um, if they don't want to, they they might not. Some of them maybe get in there because there's some silver in it and then come out of it, which doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe.
Yeah.
So why in the world would you unsubscribe? The only thing that really makes sense to me is uh, um, is that people don't hit the rest of the stuff and and YouTube pulls you out. Show me. You remember when Yankee was 200, dude? I never even heard of YouTube back then.
Those were the those are back days.
So, I'm actually, to be honest with you, all the people I like so much. Uh, Merry Christmas down south, picking and stacking. Merry Christmas, Nickel.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. Hey, Tiger Sacker, I found your cousin.
You found my cousin.
Yep.
Hold on, I can't see it too well. Is that out of focus?
It's the African Leopard 2021.
Let me see if this will give it to me. Hold on. I'm going over to my because I'm currently looking at the okay. Bear with me. YouTube under Safari is coming up, but it's taking sweet old time. And I got a little screen uh, for StreamYard. Okay. Oh, there it is. It's better picture.
There you go.
Yeah. That's a
Check out,
beautiful one.
yeah, check out the back. The reverse is even more gorgeous.
Okay.
Nice
Beautiful.
texture.
Beautiful. Is that one of the ones you put up for your duck races?
Yeah.
You know, um, I don't normally do duck races simply because, to be honest with you, I kind of get bored.
Yeah, they're not for everyone, but
Although I did do my own duck race on my last live stream.
oh yeah?
Yeah, you need to go see it.
I'll check it out. I think I popped in there during work, but then I had to go back to work. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. That's usually how it goes. I pop in somewhere, then I have to go back to work.
Well, for that leopard, instead of me going on a duck race for it, I'd rather just end up talking to you and buying it directly from you. You know, that way, you get something out of it. I I get another ounce of silver to put in the jungle.
Yeah, it'd be 35 shipped if you wanted it.
Consider it done. Just send me an email, and we'll work out the details. And if you want, just include your phone number. I'll call you. We'll work out the details of that.
Okay.
You know, I can't help it. I try not to get uh, those types of rounds with the animals. But ever since I took this name, my love of animals went right off the charts.
Right. Definitely. That's I can definitely relate to that. Definitely. With because the ginger flower round, have you ever seen that?
No, I
Let me
haven't.
get it here real quick. Um Here it is. It's by St. Lucia,
Okay.
Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. It is called the ginger flower.
How many of those you got?
I only found one
Okay.
so far.
So that one's in your deep stack.
Yeah.
Okay. If you ever find any others, let me know because I'll be willing to go after it.
Yeah.
Actually, to be honest with you, considering wifey, she'll probably steal it from me, so I'll actually want to get two.
She likes her nutcracker, so I got her a round. I actually was gifted it by Kraken.
Kraken give you a nutcracker?
Yep, Kraken gave me a nutcracker.
Oh man, I can run with that so many different directions.
Oh, Gary said he's sending me a nutcracker too.
Dude, I hope you get all the children you can make because if you had your nuts cracked, you might not get any more kids.
Oh shit. Uh, and Kraken gifted me this too.
Oh, that's nice.
A History of Gold. I was not expecting that.
That was very nice of him.
And then you want to see some coin karma?
Oh yeah,
So Kraken was in the stream with me earlier, running races, a couple races,
who
and I
was?
put him in.
Who runs faster, you or him?
I do.
Okay.
But Kraken was in there, and he couldn't really get into my races, which is fine. Gary put him in too, but then I put him in my second race, and he won his first blood coffin, reckless
Oh, those are
medals,
pretty.
with a free spot for me.
That,
Number
that's
four,
that's
yeah,
pretty.
number 404. He won that for free from me.
Awesome. Awesome. So what you're telling me, it didn't cost him anything to get in a coffin.
Nope.
Ninjas just knocking them off. Getting the nuts cracked and putting them in the grave.
Oh shit. But yeah, that was definitely a fun stream. It was a long stream.
I bet.
And yeah, it was over 4 hours long. And yeah, it was crazy.
So, but no, there. Getting back to what I was saying, mentally corrupted. I'm going to have to find that again. I still haven't gotten my pouring station built, although we've cleaned out a good section of the garage, and I want to find myself a decent enough table to start putting everything down on. I have not emptied my boxes that I got. I haven't even opened the boxes that I got from Patriotic Stacker when I bought. He could have sent me a bunch of bricks for all I know. They've never been opened.
Yeah, I was in Cash Money's live and MLSDB's all the races that they do. And my lucky number is number 8.
Can you just send me the link? I think yours was a short, and you were doing something with pouring, and I'm like, oh, that's a good technique. But I think it was a short. The last time I went into Mentally Corrupted, I must have gone into a different Mentally Corrupted because I couldn't find squat.
Mark T. Bird, 54. Merry Christmas.
T. Bird, Merry Christmas. By the way, I'm probably going to spend all my day tomorrow with wifey, and I've been behind in getting videos out, and I'll tell you why. One of my 2 jobs told me I had to get this online course done or they won't work me. The other job, I had to work my butt off because the hospital was just full and people were really sick. So I didn't have time to do any videos, edit anything. So I've been working on it. I've got a video, two or three videos in the back room, but I did want to tell you that you all were not out of my thoughts. I really wanted to get them out for you, but I apologize. The job's got in the way. So
good night. Good night, Show Me Stacker. Merry Christmas, buddy.
Show Me, you leave him in. Good night, Show Me.
He said turkey's done. Time for bed. I hope the turkey turned out good, buddy.
Oh, he's going to eat before he goes to bed. That's the best way. Happy tummy. Happy tummy. I wasn't even sure I was going to go live, but then again, I decided it's Christmas. I'm not home. So why not?
Right.
I didn't even put out a thing saying, hey, I'm going to go live at this time. I just did it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to respond to that email. I put my number in there.
Okay.
For you.
Yeah. So if you get a phone call going,
Luke, I am your father.
That's better than my joke.
Or 7 days.
I don't know that one.
From the Ring movie. You watch the tape.
No,
the Ring tape, and then you get a call, and it's a woman saying 7 days, and she comes out of the TV and kills you in 7 days.
No.
You've never seen The Ring?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Never heard of it.
Man, that's...
Well, here we go with Nickel and his toilet flushing.
Don't forget to wash your hands, Nickel.
You know what that reference is, don't you? Or do I need to tell you?
No, I don't know.
Okay. On one of the live streams, actually more than one, I had a clip on YouTube set up of a tiger roaring, and Yankee picks up the phone, and I hit the button for the clip to roar, and Nickel says it sounds like a toilet flushing, which I can understand because you got to consider it's gone through a multitude of changes from my computer into my phone, out of Yankee's phone, into Yankee's computer, out of Nickel's phone, and uh, there was there you go. No, he wasn't going to hang up. He enjoys the banter too much, Nickel. In fact, when I first started teasing him, he told me to keep it up. He likes the banter. Uh, he's actually told me a few times because a few times I thought maybe I had upset him. He told me, dude, you, I have thick skin. I like being teased. Just don't stop.
Yeah.
If you're going to be upset about worrying all the time, if I'm upset, then we'll stop. But just keep the banter going.
Hey, I'm gonna be right back.
Okay,
BRB.
okay. So no, he just told me keep the banter going. He loves the stuff, and I actually enjoy teasing him, but he also enjoys getting teased. And he's very good at it. I think that's part of the reason he became so successful is because of all the teasing that's gone on over the years, whether it's been from Ray Bar or anyone else. Did you hear about Just Stackett's phone call live? No. What happened, Nickel? Time to do the Tiger War? Oh, let me see if I can find it. Shouldn't take long. Hold on. Okay. Well, here we go. Oh, we gotta have a commercial, of course. He's gonna attack. You'll see. It's right about now. Right about now. So there you go. I had to have one of my Happy Friday silver pours. What'd you make, Mentally Corrupted? I didn't think it was. I'm glad you did laugh, Nickel. I can't wait until I get that table. I'm trying to find a used table in case I ruin it. It doesn't matter. But I'm getting there one step at a time. I had a shed that wasn't being used by my wife's dog business. As soon as she found out I wanted to start using it, she wanted it back. And there you go. So, uh, Valerie, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Mark T. Bird. But no, okay, let's do this.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, by the way, Ginger,
Yeah.
if I can ask a little favor,
Okay.
if my phone rings That's going to be the hospital calling me about another thing. So
Okay.
at that time, I'm going to turn on the mute button, like what I did on your channel.
Okay.
That way, there's no breach of confidentiality. And if you could take over running the channel until I'm done and I return.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went and got this. I'm pretty sure you already have it, but
Oh yeah, I really love that. I got mine very weirdly. I
yeah.
was I was in Plumber Stacker's auction. He showed that. I fought like crazy to get it, and I got sniped by Tex Coins.
Oh,
And and I never begrudge anyone for. I mean, it's an auction, and auctions are auctions.
right, right.
But then all of a sudden, he says, "Give it to Tiger." I'm like, "What? So why would you do this?" Because you're always nice to everyone else in the community. Someone needs to be nice to you too. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And no, said he was serious.
Wow.
Uh, I don't know if Tex heard the tiger roar or not. But no, I never in a million years thought I'd get on Yankee's phone. It's kind of hard to get on. Everyone's dialing it, and Knox Stacks is like a master at getting on.
Yeah. But yeah, I won that in Steve looking for silvers race. So I won that sucker for $6.
You won that for $6?
Yep.
Wow.
One spot got me that.
Wow. The one that Tex won and then gave to me was $85.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's actually cheap. Those are going for like 100, 120.
yeah, that's what I later found out. Yeah, I would have gone that high but you know, on plumber stackers, when that baby giggles, it's over.
Yeah.
I love that baby. I love the midget jumping into the toilet also. I don't know if he uses more than one phone nickel. Maybe he
Mark.
does.
Mark says 15. Oh, shoot. But yeah, I won that sucker. And uh stacking with Kraken.
Yeah.
He ran a race, our last race of the night, and he's got a double dragon and tiger 1 ounce coin that's colorized with
Oh,
purple.
I'd love to see that.
It's a purple colorized antiqued um tiger and dragon coin. I think it was like a 2018 or 2019, something like that. But yeah, he was racing that and a 2 ounce coin, a 2 ounce stacker. And Gary won the 2 ounce stacker, but that dragon and tiger coin is still available for racing. So I was gonna actually choose that if I
I
had one.
did. Nickel, the last time Yankee had a live stream, Ray Bar was having trouble getting through because everybody was cranking on that phone. But it was fun. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That last live stream was a scream.
Good night, Kraken. Get some sleep, buddy. Thank you for coming up with me, buddy. Have a good night. Merry
Kraken,
Christmas.
if you're going to sleep, man, have a good sleep. Merry Christmas. I hope you get everything you want, whether it's presents or life in general. God love you.
He's an awesome dude.
Yeah, Valerie, it was hysterical. And just in case you didn't hear me earlier, I am working on Rig 5. It's in its, let's say, toddler stage. Um, it would have been out sooner, but a number of things got in the way. My job, how much work I had to do, how many sick people I had to take care of. Um, driving, uh, doing these online classes for threat of not being able to be worked. So everything's gotten pushed behind. You know,
Yeah.
so I have another video. I think we'll probably break it up in 2 or 3 pieces. It's going to be about uh, stacking of a different type that's going to help everyone, considering what's going on. I can't talk about it any more than that because I don't want to ruin it. I want it to be special. And
Right.
in its raw form, it's an hour and 14 minutes. So I got to, you know, take out things that I don't think was important and maybe split it into 2 or 3 pieces.
Right.
But I think, considering it's going to help everyone if they want to get involved in it. And I found a company that's going to be more loyal to their customers for this type of thing. What you're going to find out in the rest of the real world. So it's it's going to be about stacking, but it's going to be about stacking something to protect your family, especially if you consider the nature of the attacks that we've just recently gone through with China. What is that?
Retrofuturism.
Never heard of retrofuturism.
It's a newer series that they came out with not too long ago
Okay,
by Pamp.
okay.
Super nice coin. Uh, have you ever played video games at all?
A long time ago.
Have you played Fallout?
What is it?
Fallout, like Fallout
No,
4?
no.
It gives off that kind of style with the rocket and stuff. It's really cool. That's why I got it. But yeah, it's super nice coin.
No. What was the last game I played? Oh gosh.
And Nickel Stacking says Atari.
Well, I played Atari. I played Atari. I played Nintendo. That's when you had the cassettes and you push the cassette into the base unit, and Pong. Oh my
Yep.
goodness, I was good at Pong. I guess I'm showing my age, but no, I remember when. Okay, how many of you remember when Mario was introduced? Yeah, I played Pac-Man too. Space Invaders. That's what I was thinking about with that foreign coin, the space coin. I was thinking about Space Invaders. Just couldn't remember the name. I love Space Invaders. Used to play Space Invaders in the bowling alley all the time. How many of you remember which game introduced Mario? That's going to really show your age. No, it wasn't Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Wait, wasn't it Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
Good going,
that's
dude.
right. That's right. Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
It
Donkey
was it
Kong.
was the barrel drop, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, the, the big ape was always trying to hurt Mario, and he had to jump over stuff or climb up ladders. I think he also got himself a big hammer that break up the
Yeah.
barrels with it. I used to love that game. You know, and it was best played on the big boxes that was in the places like bowling alleys.
Mhm.
So that was good.
Yeah.
Shows my age. Yeah. Oh, what you got there?
The spaghetti western.
Spaghetti Western?
Yes, new bars that have been circulating around the community.
Never heard of a spaghetti Western.
Me neither.
Oh yeah, I remember Hulk Hogan when he was young. Remember when he lifted Andre the Giant over his head?
Yeah.
How many of you remember that one? Yeah, I didn't get the new stuff either. To stack it, I always used to, you know, get, if it was new, it was new, but the older stuff that was still in the box. But no, I enjoyed it. My God, I enjoyed that. My friend Bill and I, my goodness, he would get all the latest and greatest gizmos. And
Right.
I'd go down there and we would play all day. Now, when he came to my house, we had an extra bed for him to sleep in. But when I was at his house, he had a big bed, but I had to sleep on that cold, hard wooden floor. Because I was young. Nowadays, that's going to make me wake up with things hurting that I didn't know I had anymore. I remember Andre was Bigfoot on $6 Million Man. Was he? I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. The only thing I remember about of anything that was big was Lou Ferrigno playing the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
That was pretty good for low tech. That was pretty darn good for low tech. So, Ginger, do you have a prediction for what's going to happen with gold and silver by the end of 2024?
Um. So
Yeah, it was Bill Bixby, nickel.
yeah, it's hard to say. I don't really follow it very often, but in my opinion, it's gonna go. I think it's gonna try to go down during the election, and then depending on how they start it, and like whoever wins, it'll most likely either shoot up right after or shoot down, depending on who takes it.
I agree with that in the general concept. Merry Christmas, surfer.
Surfer, what's up, dude?
So I think that what's going to happen is they're going to do anything to strengthen the dollar to make Biden look good. And I also think Biden's going to try to turn all those illegal immigrants into voting citizens so he can, uh, you know, stack the election.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just the fact that they like to try to sweeten the pot
yeah, and then
before just to
everything,
look good.
yeah, and then and the weird thing is, and I hate saying this about people in our own country, they fall for it
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
every single time.
It's just you might as well just give them a bunch of dum dum suckers, from the bank.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? They
Like,
fall for it every single time.
yeah, it's one of those mystery flavor dum dum suckers. You never know what flavor you're gonna get until it hits.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
Ugh. But yeah, it is gonna be interesting, but I can never really say I can only do predictions, but I'm not very good at predictions because I don't know how everything works. I'm fairly still new at this.
I
I
understand.
just started at the beginning of this
I
year, so
I think we're going to be between, and this is just my sorry, my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. Ginger is, but I'm not. Uh,
wait, who?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think we're going to be between 26 and 27. And I think it would be further up if it wasn't an election year. I think they're going to try to strengthen the dollar,
Yeah,
and they're going to try to make the. I don't think they're going to completely pivot and go down and stay down with an election year coming up. They're going to try to tweak it a little bit. Uh, they can't keep raising the rates because it's hurting the economy. But I think they're going to pivot a little bit and say, "Oops," and then start strengthening it back up and say, "Listen, we've done this, and the economy is good because we've done this. And once the election is over, then they'll let everything reverse again."
yeah. But
Well,
yeah.
I think, sir, for you, there's a good possibility of that. I really do. And for the most part, I would agree with you. I just think that our illustrious leaders, communists, uh, will go ahead and um, will play with these games so that they can try to stay in power.
Yeah.
And uh, and one of the things that I personally want to do is have as much protection in the home because I don't have the ability to have a bug in and bug out plan. My only option is to bug in.
Yeah.
And a lot of experts say bugging in safer than bugging out. So, um,
Right.
and like I said, I do have a video that I am working on. Uh, and well, let me say it this way. I don't want to give away what my subject is about. It is about stacking of a different nature. It is about protecting your family. And once I edit it, I think it's going to be in 2 or 3 parts. Um, it's going to be similar to stacking gold and silver, but it's really not. But it is going to be about protecting, especially under SHTF, and considering the China attack that we've had. How many of you in the chat would like to watch that video? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to see that. 2 in the chat if you don't. 3 in the chat if you don't really care.
Hey, Tiger, I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to get going. I put my payment info in the private chat.
okay. Uh,
Just for your
yeah, can you send it to my email? It'll be
yeah,
a little bit more permanently able to be gotten.
yeah, I can do that.
Yeah,
But
so
my PayPal is my email if you use PayPal.
I do use PayPal. I have 2 PayPals, one from my company, Tiger Stacker, and one's personal. So
Gotcha.
I don't know if yours is a personal or a business.
Just personal.
Okay, so we can go ahead and do that. So I know you want to go to sleep and that whole thing. But
Yeah.
if you're going to sleep, my friend, then I want to wish you absolutely the best. Uh, a very happy New Year, very Merry Christmas. I hope you have nothing but prosperity and that whole thing.
Yeah, thank you very much, and you as well. We've been having some financial stress, so all of that is definitely appreciated. Thank you, everyone, for coming in with me and rating the crap out of Tiger Stacker, showing him some love, getting him some more subs. If you haven't subbed to him, definitely smash that sub button. And y'all have a great Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone, and happy holidays. And I will see you all later. Peace out, y'all. Have a great night.
Merry Christmas, Ginger.
Merry Christmas.
Surfer, are you still here? Surfer, are you still here? Knowing him, he probably. Yeah, okay, cool. I sent you an invite to pop on live with me. So you want to come up and keep me company? Let's see here. Did it say anything? Cool. Okay. I haven't heard an answer one way or the other, although I think I see Elite says he will. And he might be going looking for the email too. I sent it to the email I always send it to you from or to. I wonder how many people I can fit on this thing. Let's see here. Sent. How do I find that? Oh, there he is. Where you at, man?
I'm getting close to retiring for the day. How about you?
Well, kind of. I just finished my shift as a hospitalist, and I started working on editing some videos, and I decided at the last second I'm tired of doing the editing. It's Christmas. I wanted to spend some time with people in the community because I'm 4 hours away from home. So I decided a split second to come on and you know do a live. So
Nice.
Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, I just finished watching a nativity with my kids and my wife, so that was fun.
Awesome. I get the chance to go home. My shift ends at 7 in the morning. I may be asleep. I may be too tired to drive. That happens. So when that happens, I really don't get much of a day back home. I sometimes get home around 4 in the afternoon when I'm that tired. So I'm toying with the idea of just canceling my day with my crummy job on the 26th, so I can have at least a little bit of a holiday with my wife. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can, I would do that. Family years go by fast, and they go by faster and faster each year. Um, you know, this is my this is technically my last Christmas with my kids home. After that, they'll be going to college, and so
That's a rough one.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll come back often to say hi, but it'll be different than it's been in the past. So for us, we're trying to soak in as much as we can, spend as much time with the kiddos during this time, and it's their senior year of high school, and they give them about 3 weeks off. So
Wow.
their last day of school was Thursday, and they don't go back until I don't know, like the 9th of January or something like that.
Well, I can tell you, it seemed a, a split second of time from the time I was changing my child's diapers, teaching his mother. Yeah, I'm the one. I'm the one who told her she was pregnant. I'm the one who taught her how to bottle feed and change diapers. Um, but now he's 30 years old. He has his own kid, one on the way. So I'm kind of looking forward to, you know, being involved with my grandson. Hopefully, two grandsons. Uh, Provided, of course, my son can quit using the grandson as a weapon, and because he doesn't like dad to be right. It's
Oh,
he's told girlfriend.
dads are rarely right. It's my wife that's usually right, not the dad. So,
Well, it's kind of like this, when the whole COVID thing hit. Well, let me put it this way: long before COVID, when 9/11 hit, I went ahead and started stacking guns and stacking bullets. And I came up with a plan that I later tried to teach my son. He didn't listen. We'd go shooting. He'd come upstairs with a bunch of bullets. I said, put them back. But Dad, we're going shooting. Yeah, I know. Put them back. But Dad, how are we going to shoot? I said, we're going to go to the gun store and buy some bullets. And what we don't use, we'll put them away with the rest of them. Dad, that's a waste of money. No, I'm not. Put them back. And so he'd get mad at me because he thought it was a waste of money. And years later, his wife tells me he can't find bullets for his gun because it was 2020, post COVID attack. And I said, your wife says this. And she said, yeah. I said, okay. Got a question for you. What? You remember when we would go shooting and I tell you put the bullets back, and what we didn't use from target shooting, we'd put it with the rest of them? I said, yeah. What do you think about it now? Damn it, Dad. Why do you always have to be right? He hates me being right. He hates it. I was like, dude, I've lived through too much. I've lived through some incredibly nasty crap. I think ahead. You need to learn the lessons I'm teaching you rather than learn the lessons yourself. But yeah, no, yes, Lord Hardly. And it sounds like your daughter is much smarter than my kid.
well, it all depends at the time, but yeah, I got pretty smart kids, but a lot of them, I gave them silver last Christmas. They didn't really appreciate that very much.
Look at Nickel. Dad wanted to beat him while he stood behind mom. Uh, mine was the other way around, Nickel. My mom, by today's standards, was a child abuser. And my dad would usually, stop her from going off on me. I remember one story my cousin told after one of the family members died. It said, I remember a time your mom got so mad at you and you went upstairs crying because you got a spanking. And she was so mad, she started heading towards the stairs. Your dad said, where are you going? So I'm going to go spank the boys. You already gave it to him once. He's had enough. Enough. No, he needs more. So my dad, being the wise man he was, and quite the flirt, right in front of her dad who lived with us, walked right up to her, kissed her right on the lips, and she hated public displays of affection. It totally reset her computer. She stood there embarrassed as all can be. He looked at her and said, well, I'm going to bed. You can come up and visit me if you want to. She completely forgot she was mad at me.
Yeah, kids can be pretty forgiving on stuff, which is good. But it's like, family's everything. So,
It
y-
is.
the reason I stack is for my family. If it was just me by myself, um, I'd still stack, but I wouldn't be doing nearly as much preparation as I am for my whole family. I'm trying to take care of 5 people and make sure that we can. make it through the worst times if they come, which I think they probably will come, or I wouldn't be doing this. And I just don't know if we're talking in the next several months or if we're talking in the next decade. So for me, I try to prep in a way that lasts a long time. And then it's like insurance. You buy insurance, but you don't think about the insurance every day. You don't worry about it. So I get ready for things and kind of set it aside, and then we get on to living life and having fun and enjoying everything, which is good. But you mentioned something earlier. I'm also prepared to stay and hunker down, not so much get out of town. I don't have access to get out of here. Like if something crazy happens, I can't get away from where I'm at. I'm too landlocked in, and there's too many people going any direction out of here. So I'm better just to stay where I'm at until things blow over.
I
So we just get ready for that kind of thing. And I keep kits in my cars because we live in earthquake country in Southern California, and if we have a massive earthquake and I happen to be in San Diego, um, away from my house, an hour driving, and bridges are down and everything else, it could be weeks before I get home, and until you find a shelter and things like that. So it's always good to have some extra supplies and be prepared.
exactly. I years ago I bought from one company. I think it was Emergency Essentials, a backpack kit. I forget if it was black or blue, and I bought from Amazon. The other one's red, one's black, and the one I bought had more stuff in it and less water and food, and one I bought had more food in it and less stuff. I've been promised myself a long time to get a bigger backpack and just stuff both of them into that. I also
Yeah.
have a little green army kit for suturing and everything in case something bad happens. Um, so I didn't know that there was an earthquake during the World Series, Nickel. And
Oh yeah, I was watching that game. So Candlestick Park got damaged big time, and I've got friends that were driving on some of those bridges when they collapsed. So the other thing I do, Tiger, with my kits is I put in change of clothes for 3 days. So I try to prep them for 3 days, like 72-hour kits.
yeah,
So I've got food and water. I've got emergency supplies for communication as well as protection. Um, and then I have change of clothes in there so that you have that too. And then I always put some kind of game in there to get your mind off things, like a card game. And then I have like a solar charger for my phones, which I need to update now that I've got a newer phone. I need to put a different cord in there.
yeah,
But it's solar powered, and then I need to charge it. So those are things you got to make sure your stuff's charged or you have batteries and things like that. But it I'm mostly prepared. You can never be 100% prepared for
yeah,
anything, but
you can.
I mean, a lot of those people on that with that earthquake too. Some of them their cars got smashed. They were down like by where your feet go in the car, huddled down there when their whole top of their car smashed. So even if you had a kit in the back of your car, you weren't getting to it. You just were relying on people saving you. Um, and then other people were up above and they found a way to get to safety, but everything was a mess. So you just never know. And it's not just California. I mean, Washington State, Oregon, Utah, Idaho, all of those western states.
Are you still there? Are you still there?
An entire
There you are.
city of Seattle that's built on top of like backfill. It's not
Yeah,
regardless of that.
what's
For
going
this year, being able to stack more gold and silver, because it's going to be really hard, I think.
Can you hear him? Can you all hear him? Surfer, you there?
Yeah, can you guys not hear me?
I don't know what happened. You were in and out. How about now? You still there?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
You're a little bit better now than what you were, you know. But I can tell you, I wish I had put my kids in my vehicle recently. A week ago, I was driving 4 hours from my home uh, to to do the
Okay.
hospitalist job. And
Is this any better?
wow, I guess you couldn't hear me either. I hear you okay right now.
Okay.
You know, like I was saying, a week ago, I stopped doing the home visiting job, which is the really crummy one. Had to return the rental car. I put everything into my truck, which is a 3-year-old truck with only 24,000 miles on it. Drove 2.5 hours plus or minus out of a 4 hour trip. And somehow the GPS got goofed up and led me down the wrong way. So I thought, okay, maybe the truck and the phone are not communicating. So do what I always do: pull over the side of the road, turn off the truck, turn off the phone, turn on the phone, turn on the truck. Truck wouldn't start. And I fortunately got a hold of people and they could send a tow truck and get me. And then my boss drove me the rest of the way into work. But I was thinking to myself, what if I was stuck out here? You know, and I don't have my backpacks. There's nothing to eat. I'm going to have to walk a ways. Worse yet, if it was SHTF, I'd have even a worse situation what to do right now. So
Well, you can only prepare so much. I mean, like I was in Boston 2 weeks ago. So a lot of you guys probably saw the cameo where I dropped in on Tim's shop and Yankee was there. And I was actually hoping to make some video, but Yankee beat me there. I even told him like I wasn't going to be there for another half an hour. He got there really early, so I didn't get to do that. But what happens if you're in another state away from your family? If I was in Boston, I live in California, and something happens and I can't make it home. I think it's also very helpful to know people where you're going, and know how to get a hold of them in case something happens out there.
yeah, there's some truth with that too.
And the last thing I want to be stuck in a city that I don't know anybody in, right? That can be kind of a hard thing. Um, but you do the best you can, and then that's for me. That's where faith comes in. Is the next part. I do the best I can, and then after that, it's like God's gonna have to pick up the difference, or I maybe my time comes earlier. But you do the best you can. But I think you were asking Ginger a little earlier too. What do you think's gonna happen with silver? It looked like we were going to have a gold and silver breakout. There's a massive cup and handle right now that's multi-year um, with gold, and it should be breaking out to the top. And it looks like the bankers are able to keep pushing it down. So I really think we're going to see prices be fairly flat until they can no longer do that, and then I think it could really jump. It's
Yeah,
really hard to say when that's going to be, though.
I think they're going to try really hard to keep it controlled to make the economy look better than what it is until after the elections. But then again, on the other side of the coin, our country's so fractioned with this double standard. With the radical left can get away with everything. The radical right, they're always attacking the double standard on one president can do stuff and the other one can't. One children can do stuff and the other ones can't. You know, in light of that, plus what's going on worldwide, um, I often think we're headed towards civil war. But to be honest with you, I think if we had a civil war, it wouldn't be a civil war. It's going to be part of a global war. So I think we've been so infiltrated and so taken over through the radical left communists um, long range plan. You know, have you ever watched the Marvel movies when the war broke out because Hydra had infiltrated over decades? It is so analogous to that situation.
Yeah, one thing I've heard is a lot of the stuff that goes on, they'll put in movies first so that they warn you and they feel okay, have kind of a clear conscience of it. So that means there could be a lot of crazy stuff that comes because the movies are pretty crazy. Um, but I think, I don't worry too much about a civil war. I don't worry too much about war because I can't control it. Just a second. Someone turned my alarm off. All right. Sorry about that, guys. So have a good alarm system, by the way. Always a good thing to have.
I want to get a new one. I'm trying to get out of the ADT. I think they're more interested in lining their pockets than anything else.
Yeah, I like to go with a smaller company. Mine's a more local company. They're just in a couple, I think like 2 states, and they do
Mhm,
pretty good monitoring of things. And I've got a lot of motion detectors. I have a lot of like no glass breaking sensors around,
mhm.
and then cameras. So it's pretty, pretty well protected, but backup battery, things like that. But going back to what you were saying real quick too, Tiger, I think the next 20 years will not look like the last 20 years. And that includes the stock market. I think it includes a lot of things. So, we could, a lot of times before you see markets completely die and crash, you see a melt up where, money's being printed, low interest rates, and every hyperinflation and everything just skyrockets up. And then it crashes and loses like 90% of its value.
Oh yeah.
So we could see scenarios like that happen. We could see cyber attacks with the banks. We could see it with the electrical grid. So, a lot of crazy things could happen that we can prepare for, but we can't worry too much about it because you can't control it. Um, and even something like a civil war, I don't ever see us getting into a left versus right civil war. I don't really see that happening. I don't think there's an appetite for that. I think it's more likely if we have anything that looks like that, it's because the power's gone out for a long period of time, or
Mhm.
somehow the cyber attack hit banks and we're not able to transact anymore. I think it's going to be more out of desperation than it is out of politics. But they sure do seem to want to get everybody riled up against each other. I work in high tech. So majority, I'm going to say like 90% of the people I work with are very, very progressive, liberal voting people. And I hear all kinds of opinions of things all the time. A lot of times I have to just let them talk and not address anything. And other times I have to correct people on stuff because they're saying something that's just so out of whack.
Yeah.
But I've gotten to the point where I have a pretty good understanding of where people are coming from, both on the left and right side. And the one thing I do know is most people in this country want a lot of the same stuff, but they're able to get polarized on one or two topics. And that's where the division is. The only way we're going to survive as a country going past 250 years of a democracy is if we can pull together and get to the point where we see each other as Americans, and people that are coming in here assimilate, pay taxes, contribute. If we don't have that kind of stuff going on, then it's going to get crazy.
Oh, I agree. Merry Christmas to you and everyone else. You're absolutely right. And that's one of the first things we need to stay focused on is today's day, and it's about our Lord and Savior birthday, who pretty much came here to be one of us and clue us in what was important, what is important. But, and what you were saying, Surfer, I agree. Although I slightly disagree on the subject that, no, we can't stop a war from happening, but we can see the signs of it coming and use that to prepare as best as we can to protect our families.
Oh, for sure. I agree. So I think what I prepare for is I don't think we're going to have a civil war like we did in the past. What I'm most concerned about is something where electricity goes out for months at a time, and we're dealing with like little factions. So for me, it's getting to know my neighbors better. It's putting plans in place. If things get really wild, you're going to need to create a community, and you're going to need to pull people together and pull resources. Where I live, we don't have any farms around us. I'm like basically in the city. I'm not in the big building city. I'm in dense suburbia, but there's nowhere to grow food anywhere around here, including our backyards. They're tiny.
Well,
So,
actually, you can turn a little tiny yard into
well,
the food
I am
plant.
going to show you guys. I have some plans coming up in the spring. So I have a way of growing 200 plants in a 6 by 4 foot area.
Um, have you ever heard of Marjorie? I think it's Marjorie Westcraft or Wildcraft. I forget which. Back when Lynette Zhang started her channel Beyond Gold and Silver, she was one of the first interviewers,
Yeah,
and
I think I've heard of her channel too. I
and
haven't really spent much time on it, but
neither have I. But I watched a lot of that interview, and I took it to heart. We have 6 chickens in our backyard that will produce enough eggs for 2 people for an entire year. Uh, we finally gotten to figure out what was wrong with our rabbits, so now they're producing. We didn't know anything about rabbits, so we bought,
yeah.
according to what we were told, 3 females and 1 male, and our black male was not getting any babies. ITM is her regular channel where she talks about precious metals. Beyond Gold and Silver is her other channel when she talks about all the other points of her 7 point mantra. Um, but uh, she, the we found out what the problem with our black male is. I had another rabbit guru come down to show me what was wrong, and he showed me, because we didn't know anything, that our black male was actually a black female. So we had 4 girls.
You couldn't tell, huh?
I didn't know anything about rabbits.
Maybe rabbits aren't. Maybe it's not as obvious as a dog or a
There's,
horse.
there's smaller parts down there that
Yeah.
basically they basically told me, if it looks like a taco, it's a girl. If it looks like a burrito, it's a boy. So but those parts are really small down there.
So Tiger's getting out his loop to try to figure it out.
I'll tell you what, they can fight. I've gotten
Oh
scratched
man.
beyond belief with. They can. Oh my goodness, they can fight. So now every time I come home, my wife tells me how many rabbits I have to harvest. She tells me we have 8 more rabbits to go to freezer camp.
Jeez. Well,
That's
I
what,
think it's great that you're able to do that. I mean, where I live, you'll be turned in by the HOA, fined, and have your animals taken away. Like you can't do chickens. There's nothing. And even growing in the backyard, I don't have the right angle for the sunlight. So I'm going to try it this spring. Um, and we're going to see. I'm going to make some videos on that. I've just planted 3 little mandarin trees too. So we'll
well,
see if I can get enough light to do it. But it is important to have seeds, and it's important to know how to grow food. And I used to have a pretty robust garden in the back too, when I lived in Utah. But here in California, it's It's just too expensive to have any kind of real land.
What about having a little pool, a little pond, something like that with tilapia in it? You could use it for aquaponics, and the tilapia can be used for meat.
I mean, maybe you could pull that off, but it would take up your whole backyard. I
Right?
mean, I can barely, if I don't have a pool, I could put a pool in my backyard and that would take up the whole backyard.
It doesn't have to be big. It just have to be big enough for the fish.
We just look, you have a big mansion out here if you have a 6,000 square foot lot.
Okay.
We just don't, there's just not much land. And I mean, if you can get a quarter acre lot, you have multi-million dollar homes and you still can't get quarter acre lots out here.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I never wanted to live in California. Years ago, when I was as a medical student, I was also in the army, and I spent some time at Monterey, over at the uh, um, the army base out there, and then sometime over at the Presidio. Um, and when I was at the Presidio, I had this really cute girlfriend. She never wanted to leave California, and I looked at her and said, "Why?" And she'd go on about the weather. I said, "Yeah, but everybody else charges you for something that you get for free." You know, California is good to visit. It's not good to live in.
It's hard to live in. So the city I live in is good. What I mean by that is, and even the county I live in, uh, our county sheriff did not uphold any of the laws from the governor during the COVID lockdowns. So we had a lot more freedoms of everything. So we're kind of in a bubble. And then the city I live in is very much an open city, so it has open concepts. It's not the same as Northern California, and I've got neighbors that are both liberal and conservative, and everybody seems to get along pretty well here.
Hmm.
So it's a little bit different than the rest of the state of California, but um, we still have to deal with a lot of the issues with electricity and all the taxes and regulations. So we're here for my wife's health, and we'll have to see what we do long term. We look at potentially going to Texas or Florida, um, but at the same time, where I live, we keep having more and more people of similar dispositions moving down this way, um, and so part of it's, do you stay and fight, or do you run to get to something that's better for you in the short term? And a lot of the reason California is as messed up as it is, and then even our country, is because so many people left California to go to other places. It allowed this to happen, and whatever starts in California spreads everywhere else. Um, so you see something you don't like here, you got to fight it in your own state pretty heavily well before it comes, or you're going to wake up and it's going to look like California at some point.
Yeah, I can understand that. And for the most part, I can agree with you. You know, there's just too
Down
much.
south Pickens telling me to vote with my feet. Yeah, I do feel like that. So we'll see what happens. My kids will be done with school this year in May, and we'll look. If the market's still good and we can find a place, so maybe we'll do a drive or some questions to see if people can help surfer find the next place to move to.
Mhm.
Um, Part of it's I like to surf, so there's not a lot of other places that are great to surf in the country except for the West Coast or Hawaii, and so that gets a little bit tricky. But we can always, if I move somewhere else, I can always come out to California for like a month and get a bunch of surfing in a month. Um, that's another thing that's pretty fun too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tennessee doesn't have a lot of surfing, that's for sure. But there's traveling. So if I can go somewhere where it's half the cost of here, and I invest that money, and it's growing, I can afford to go out on vacation and do some other stuff too. And I grew up in Southern California, but I didn't grow up surfing. I grew up doing a little bit of bodyboarding, but not a lot. We didn't go to the beach that much. My family didn't. It really wasn't until I moved back here about 7 years ago that I learned to surf and started surfing. So I love surfing, but it's not so ingrained in me like most of the people that grew up in the town that I live in now.
Hmm.
They go surfing every day or they can't handle it. It's and I wish I could go out every day, but I've got work and I've got my YouTube channel, and so I get out frequently, but not. I'm not going out surfing for 2 hours every day like a lot of people here. You get a lot of, I don't want to call them beach bums, but people that they'll get up at 5 or 6 in the morning, go surfing for a couple hours, and then go to work. And I'm not able to do that.
Yeah, my idea of surfing in the morning is rolling from the left side to the right side.
There you go.
You know,
and then and then
take
getting a splash in your
my
face in the
cousin tried
shower.
to pull it in tighter. But
Yeah, it's true.
with what you said down south picking, yeah, a lot of people grow tilapia in their garage. I've never done it, but I've seen a lot of YouTube videos on it.
I think it's a great. I mean, I there's no way I have to park my cars in the garage right now. HOA. We got too many cars. So if it really got to the crazy point, though, if you can get your hands on a couple real fish, you could do that. Good thing with being here in California, we could also go fish the ocean. Um, we could go down there and do that too. But um, I don't know. I think we got some interesting days ahead of us. I think that 2024 is going to be a really interesting year. I don't think we know who's really running for president yet. And I'm not 100% sure we're going to end up having an election, is one thing I'm watching out for. So you seem to have two very, you know, big chunks of the country, almost 50% on each side, that are very adamant that their side needs to have this or the whole country is going to go down in flames. And that's a weird thing I've never really seen before in my life. So it makes me believe you're going to have a lot of people fighting hard uh, to have their team win this next year. So I think you're going to see some interesting stuff. And I still think my governor is going to try to run for president.
Why don't you run for president?
I think Newsom's going to try to run.
You know, people will vote for you. You got the right hat and the right sunglasses.
Me? I'm
Yeah,
not running for president, man. No way.
you can wear the hat and the sunglasses. I mean, heck, if you can have Fetterman run around in a hoodie and beat up clothes and can become a senator of Pennsylvania, we can have a surfer who wears a nice hat. You know,
Oh man,
hey guys,
it-
who here would vote for surfer for president? Put a one in the chat.
no
Who
surfer for president.
said no? Come on, put it in the chat. Let's see what they'd say.
I hope I don't see very many ones. I don't want to run for president. They have made that position so
There you
undesirable for most people. Joseph Lopez, of course.
go.
Oh man. Well, I got to tell you, if it's done right, it's the hardest job in the world, and it's probably one of the most dangerous jobs. Um, and I don't think it's been done right for at least 100 years, maybe longer.
Well,
I think it's been pretty manipulated since
it's
then.
been done right in our time, and I know some people will probably disagree with me, but that's okay because everyone's
Yeah.
entitled to their opinion, and I'm entitled to know I'm right. But the closest I've ever thought that we had to a good president uh, in our lifetime was Ronald Reagan. I think
But
after
do you remember what happened to Reagan?
I know they tried to shoot him.
Jeez.
In fact, I know a TV show that they changed the name of the character because of the assassination attempt. Um, how many of you remember what show that was? Anyone can name me that show just out of curiosity? Yeah, it was John Hinckley, but that was it. That was the attempt at that was the person who attempted the assassination.
Yeah, I don't remember the show though.
They changed the character's last name from Hinckley to Hanley immediately.
Well, the one thing I thought was curious is nothing. I mean, that I know of happened to the to Trump, even though a lot of people were going after him from the second he won that election.
Mhm.
So, I think that's interesting. And you've even had RFK right now that's been putting stuff on social media asking for money and to push for Secret Service details because he's had a lot of threats on his life. So it's a tough position, and it's one that I think is really hard because you have a cabinet of people and you have a lot of organizations that are never voted in
No,
that
it
are running
wasn't
the
bosom
country.
buddies. It wasn't bosom buddies. It wasn't Tom.
Some buddies, goodness.
Almost, Nickel. There's one word you're missing. Almost. Give me that one word and you got it.
If I were president, though, I probably wouldn't fall off the bike. That's probably true.
You wouldn't what?
I wouldn't fall off a bike. At least
Yes,
not yet.
greatest American hero.
Greatest American hero. All right.
Oh my goodness, I love that show. Funniest show ever about a guy who was given a suit that turned him into a Superman. He didn't know how to work it because he lost the instructions, which made him actually a good hero because with great power, comes great responsibility, but also power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. And
Mhm.
the storyline was he was given this suit by aliens who had given suits out in the past who all went corrupt, and the aliens always took the suit back. And he had an FBI agent as his partner, um, and he had a really hot girlfriend played by Connie Selica. Oh my goodness, that girl had hair. Um, so, but I think she would even rival Nick's hair. Although
Oh, man.
she was a thick-haired brunette. But no,
Well, Tiger, I got to call it a night. It's
yeah, me too.
12:21 a.m. here. I don't know where you're at, but it's got to be later where you're at too.
Yeah, it's currently 3:21, and I
Oh,
feel
jeez.
that song is from the show. Believe it or not,
Yeah, I remember the show. I forget the suit though. I'm gonna have to go take a
it
look
was
at that
all
again.
red. It was a thing in the middle of the chest. It didn't say or anything or whatever. It's just like an emblem in the middle of the suit. Uh, but no, it was an awesome show, and Robert Culp played the FBI agent. Which, by the way, he played a secret agent with oh shoot, Bill Cosby in the day I Spy. So, but no, it was an awesome show. I wish it never went off the air. Anyway, but you're absolutely right. We all need to go to bed. I need to cuddle up with my fuzzy blanket, and we need to enjoy our families. So yeah, I think that's a good point. So I know
Well, thanks for letting me jump on for a few minutes, and I look forward to an awesome 2024 from a stacking perspective and channel. Um, I'm hoping to get a bunch of great new content out for people, and I'm looking forward to your prepping type video that you were talking about. I'll have to check it out.
yeah, I've got so many things I want to accomplish, and I need some freedom from work. So I need the money. So that's going to be an interesting thing to
Yeah, I
happen.
hear you on that.
So anyway, Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, Surfer.
Merry Christmas, Tiger.
I want to thank everyone for coming. Have a wonderful Christmas and enjoy your families, and have a great New Year. And let's hope for the best of 24, but let's prepare and let's hope we never have the worst. But let's prepare for it so we can take care of each other. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Surfer. I appreciate you coming on like this.
Yep, you're welcome. Peace out. We'll talk to you guys another time, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. All right. Bye bye.